What if three major Islamic nations formed a unified military defense pact? The Mecca Joint Defence Agreement binds Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan. This is not just a diplomatic handshake, it is a fundamental shift in regional power. It establishes a mutual defense framework across multiple strategic military domains. We are looking at a scenario that forces New Delhi to recalculate its security doctrine. With this pact, the geopolitical center of gravity is actively shifting before our eyes. Intelligence sharing and joint naval commands form the backbone of this new triad. Let us dive into the specifics of this unprecedented trilateral defense agreement. Saudi Crown Prince Mies continues to diversify his strategic alliances globally. The origins of this pact lie in the shifting sands of Middle Eastern and South Asian politics. Financial capital from Riyadh is merging with Ankara's drone technology and Islamabad's forces. For decades, these nations maintained bilateral ties, but a trilateral umbrella is entirely new. Signed near the holiest site in Islam, the pact carries immense symbolic weight. It signals a desire to reduce dependency on traditional Western defense umbrellas. State-of-the-art drone manufacturing facilities are being jointly established to scale up production. Saudi Arabia brings financial muscle, Turkey brings advanced defense manufacturing, and Pakistan brings manpower. Together, they form a complementary military triad with significant regional reach. Massive military convoys navigate challenging terrains as part of their new joint operational readiness. Rawalpindi views this as a vital strategic depth against its eastern neighbor. This formulation is designed to project power and deter potential regional adversaries. The most critical element of this treaty is its NATO-style mutual defense clause. The operational integration involves real-time satellite data sharing across 3 distinct time zones. The text explicitly states that an armed attack on one member is an attack on all 3. But how binding is this clause in the real world of complex geopolitics? Joint naval exercises in the Arabian Sea are actively testing this collective defense hypothesis. Unlike NATO, this alliance lacks a decades-old unified command structure. Ankara's parliament ratified the treaty with overwhelming bipartisan support. However, the political commitment behind the clause is designed to serve as a massive deterrent. Air defense systems are being calibrated to communicate seamlessly across national boundaries. It forces any potential adversary to think 3 times before launching a kinetic strike. Let us address the most pressing question for South Asia. What if a conflict erupts involving Pakistan? Border outposts are now monitored not just by local commands, but by allied intelligence networks. If India were to launch a surgical strike or face a border escalation, how would this pact react? The agreement theoretically mandates Turkish and Saudi military intervention. Strategic bombers remain on high alert, serving as the ultimate conventional deterrent mechanism. But deploying troops or launching counterstrikes against a nuclear-armed India is a colossal risk. The clause is likely intended more as a psychological shield for Islamabad than a guarantee of war. Secure communication lines constantly relay tactical updates between the 3 capitals. Yet, the mere existence of the treaty complicates Indian military contingency planning. Defense acquisitions in New Delhi are accelerating to counter this new bloc. Would Ankara or Riyadh truly risk a direct conflict with India over a border dispute? Diplomatic back channels operate constantly to ensure economic interests are not derailed by military pacts. Saudi Arabia has massive economic ties with India, which they cannot afford to sever. Saudi Arabia's energy trade with India is a critical factor preventing outright war. Turkey, despite its rhetoric, carefully calculates its military deployments based on core national interests. Cargo planes quietly transport advanced munitions and radar equipment under the cover of night. Therefore, direct military intervention remains highly unlikely in a limited skirmish. Instead, we might see asymmetric support, intelligence sharing, arms supplies, or diplomatic shielding. Economic trade routes continue to function, highlighting the duality of modern geopolitical relations. They may publicly state they will not intervene, but covertly provide critical operational support. To understand the present, we must examine the past, specifically incidents like the Pahalgam attack. The rugged terrain of the region has witnessed decades of complex, multi-layered conflicts. Historical flashpoints in Kashmir have always drawn international attention and proxy involvement. During such crises, the rhetoric and actions of nations reveal their true strategic alignments. Security forces constantly patrol the treacherous mountain passes to prevent militant infiltrations. The Pahalgam incident demonstrated how cross-border terrorism affects regional stability. Indian security forces have historically borne the brunt of cross-border escalations. It also highlighted which nations stood by India and which subtly or overtly supported Pakistan. The echoes of past conflicts continue to shape the military doctrines of the present day. These historical precedents form the bedrock of today's formal military alliances. During historical conflicts, Turkey has consistently leaned towards supporting Pakistan diplomatically. Cultural and political exchanges between Ankara and Islamabad have paved the way for military integration. Ankara has frequently raised the Kashmir issue at international forums, aligning with Islamabad's stance. This historic diplomatic backing has now evolved into a formal, binding military commitment. Joint military parades frequently showcase the deep-rooted brotherhood between the two armed forces. Turkey's motivation is partly rooted in its ambition to be a leading voice in the Islamic world. By firmly backing Pakistan, Erdogan solidifies his domestic and international political image. Turkish defense contractors have heavily invested in upgrading Pakistan's aging military infrastructure. This relationship is not new. The Mecca Pact is simply its ultimate structural manifestation. Turkish military advisors have long collaborated with their Pakistani counterparts. But we cannot discuss this pact without bringing in the most powerful player in the region, China. High-altitude military encampments silently project power across contested Himalayan borders. Historically, China has used Pakistan as a strategic proxy to keep India geographically contained. President Xi Jinping has solidified the all-weather friendship with Pakistan. During past Indo-Pak conflicts, Beijing has subtly postured its military to pressure New Delhi. Infrastructure projects dual use as military supply lines stretch across the rugged terrain. China's past border aggressions were often timed to coincide with regional instability. Beijing watches this new trilateral pact with immense interest and quiet approval. Strategic surveillance installations monitor communications across the entire South Asian subcontinent. A stronger Pakistan, backed by Saudi and Turkish resources, perfectly serves Chinese interests. Why does China consistently stand with Pakistan, even during controversial conflicts? Cargo trains loaded with goods and military supplies traverse the immense Karakoram ranges. It is a calculated strategy. A two-front threat forces India to divide its military resources. By ensuring Pakistan remains a potent threat, China prevents India from challenging Beijing's dominance. Deep-water ports are being rapidly developed to facilitate global trade and naval deployments. Furthermore, Pakistan provides China with a crucial overland route to the Arabian Sea. The PLA Navy seeks to expand its footprint in the critical Indian Ocean region. The Mecca Pact inadvertently secures China's western flank by strengthening its primary ally. Chinese engineers work alongside local military units to fortify strategic infrastructure projects. While not a signatory, Beijing is the silent beneficiary of this new trilateral defense architecture. Facing this emerging bloc and China's shadow, how does India counter this geopolitical encirclement? Advanced stealth fighters take to the skies, representing the modernization of India's air defense. New Delhi is aggressively expanding its own strategic partnerships with Western and Indo-Pacific nations. We are seeing increased military cooperation with the US, France, and regional players like Israel. Aircraft carriers project maritime dominance across the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean. India is also modernizing its armed forces to simultaneously handle a two-front conflict scenario. The focus is on technological superiority, naval expansion, and robust economic growth. Top-level strategic command centers operate around the clock to analyze these evolving threats. In this complex chess game, alliances are shifting, and India is preparing for a multipolar future. India's strategy relies on building a web of global partnerships to counter regional blocs. To understand more about these complex geopolitical shifts, please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon.